LL Cool J has built a career as a rap legend, actor, and family man. But now, a storm is following him, and it's one he can't ignore. A young man named Love Benji is back, claiming once again that LL Cool J is his real father. This isn't the first time we've heard this.
It takes a lot of courage for me to be able to talk about this now at the age that I am. They made me sign paperwork, they didn't want it to go public. Since probably around COVID, they wanted to silence me. Ever since my mother really told me the truth, I feel like it should be public. I need to just get this off my chest. I want to give thanks to you too, man. James Todd Smith. That's what I know him as. Father, great man. But many of you probably know him as LL Cool J. Blocked me from all social medias. I tried to take trips to see him. Him, his beautiful wife, siblings, brothers and sisters. I never knew why I wanted to make music, why I wanted to be an actor. I wanted to be these things. Turns out my father is LL Cool J.
Years ago, Benji shocked the internet by saying he was silenced with paperwork and blocked from reaching out to LL directly. At the time, many thought it was a joke, maybe even a skit. But today, the whispers are louder and people are demanding proof. Could DNA testing finally settle this once and for all? Fans are asking, is LL Cool J hiding a son in plain sight? Or is this just another clout chase to grab attention? Either way, the timing of Benji's return raises serious questions. And what happens next could change how people see LL Cool J forever. But that wasn't the whole story. When Love Benji first stepped forward, the internet didn't know what to believe. He sat in front of a camera and revealed a story that sounded straight out of a movie. He said LL Cool J was his father, not just the star the world knew, but the man who had quietly supported him from the shadows. According to Benji, he was forced to sign paperwork meant to keep his truth hidden. He claimed he wasn't allowed to speak out, and every attempt to connect with LL ended with him being blocked on social media. Benji said LL would sometimes send him money, around $200 a month, but insisted it was never about the money. What mattered was acknowledgement, the chance to stand beside the man he knew as James Todd Smith, not just LL Cool J. In his words, LL had given him more than cash. He had given him charisma, charm, and the drive to create music. But the pain in Benji's voice made people stop scrolling and listen. Some viewers believed every word, pointing to the emotion on his face as proof he wasn't faking. Others laughed it off, calling him a clout chaser hoping to ride LL's name for fame. Even LL's camp responded, saying the claim was completely false and nothing more than a skit. Still, the doubt lingered, because if Benji was telling the truth, it meant one of hip-hop's most respected icons had been hiding a son for decades. And what happened next would make the story even more complicated. For nearly 2 years, Love Benji disappeared. His Instagram was wiped clean, his name faded from the blogs, and the story seemed buried. Most people assumed the saga was over, but just when the world forgot, Benji suddenly resurfaced, and the whispers came roaring back. Out of nowhere, new posts began circling online, hinting that the paternity drama wasn't finished. The timing was strange, and fans immediately asked the question, why now? Was Benji ready to share new proof, maybe even DNA results, that could silence all the doubts? Or was this just a carefully timed move to spark controversy and boost his music career? The mystery made people pay attention all over again. Screenshots, reposts, and rumors spread fast, pushing LL Cool J's name back into trending conversations. Some fans were quick to say that Benji's comeback felt calculated. They pointed out how his reappearance lined up with drops of his music, suggesting it was more about streams than family ties. But others argued that after being silenced, maybe Benji finally found the courage to speak again. If his claims of being blocked and shut out were true, this could be his only way of reaching the man he says is his father. One thing was clear, Benji's return reopened wounds that never fully healed. And once again, LL Cool J's private life was being pulled into the spotlight. But this wasn't the first time a celebrity was caught up in a hidden child scandal. Love Benji's story isn't the first time a celebrity has been accused of hiding a child. In fact, these kinds of claims have become almost a trend in Hollywood and hip-hop. Back in 2014, an aspiring comedian named Brando Murphy tried to convince the world he was Eddie Murphy's son. For a short time, the rumor gave him attention, but it didn't last. Eddie's lawyers quickly stepped in, and Brando eventually admitted there was no truth to it. Another case involved director a social media influencer named Lou G suddenly claimed he was the music mogul's son. The news spread fast, but Dre denied it publicly, and Lou G's Instagram account mysteriously vanished not long after. And then there's the ongoing story tied to Jay-Z. A man named Rymir has been claiming for years that Jay-Z is his father. He's taken him to court multiple times, and although nothing has been proven, the legal battles keep dragging on, keeping the rumor alive. These cases show how messy and complicated paternity scandals can get, especially when fame and fortune are involved. Sometimes the stories collapse under the weight of lies. Other times, unanswered questions keep fans wondering what's real, and that's exactly why Love Benji's claim is so explosive. Unlike the others, his story has layers of raw emotion that made people pause before dismissing it. But when you look at LL Cool J's own past and reputation, the situation becomes even harder to ignore. To understand why so many people believe Love Benji's claims, you have to look at LL Cool J's own history. From the very start, his name set the tone. Ladies love Cool James. He was the smooth-talking rap star with charisma that drew attention wherever he went. But that attention wasn't always easy to manage, especially once he became a married man. Over the years, LL earned a reputation as a ladies' man, and even his wife Simone has admitted that it caused major problems in their marriage. She once revealed how difficult it was being with a sex symbol, describing moments where she would get upset just seeing how women looked at him.
I'm married to a sex symbol. Growing up, when we first got together, I've had my times where I would be going off and, mad at this one because they looked at him this way. And
fans adored LL, but for Simone, that admiration turned into constant tension. And it wasn't just about looks. After having their first 2 children, LL reportedly left Simone twice, stepping away from the marriage during some of their toughest years. On top of that, there have always been whispers of cheating, rumors that followed him even as he rose higher in music and acting. For critics, this made Benji's story more believable. After all, if LL could step out during his marriage, was it really that far-fetched to think he might have a child outside the family? This reputation as both a legend and a heartthrob has always been a double-edged sword. It built his career, but it also left the door open for speculation. And when you add Simone's own public struggles with their marriage, the pieces start to connect. But the challenges in their relationship go even deeper than many realize. Being married to LL Cool J hasn't been easy for Simone Smith. She has spoken openly about the challenges of building a life with a man so many women adored. On one podcast, she admitted that in the early days of their marriage, she would constantly get angry and jealous when women approached him. It wasn't just fans asking for pictures or autographs, it was the way they looked at him, the attention that never stopped. And for a young couple still figuring things out, that pressure was hard to handle. Simone even revealed that after their honeymoon, she didn't speak to LL for 2 weeks. The reason? His music video for Doin' It, where he appeared in intimate scenes with another woman. That moment set the tone for years of ups and downs. Despite sharing 4 children together, Simone has admitted they had serious struggles, including LL leaving her twice during the early years of their family life. Cheating rumors followed LL everywhere, and while Simone stood by him publicly, insiders whispered that trust was always a fragile part of their relationship. For many, this history explains why Love Benji's claims strike such a nerve. If LL was already known for stepping outside of the marriage, then a hidden child doesn't sound impossible. Yet, despite the storms, Simone has always found a way to balance life with LL. Their marriage has lasted more than 25 years, a rare feat in the entertainment world. But even with their strong front, the questions about Benji cast a shadow that Simone may not want to face again. And the irony of it all becomes sharper when you look at LL's own childhood. To really understand why fans are so conflicted about this story, you have to look at LL Cool J's past. Behind the fame and charm, his childhood was filled with pain most people couldn't imagine. When LL was just 4 years old, tragedy struck. His own father pulled the trigger on his mother and grandfather, leaving scars that would shape the rest of his life. And when his mother finally recovered and tried to rebuild their home, she entered a relationship with a man who only made things worse. That man, Roscoe, became LL's stepfather, and instead of support, he brought fear and abuse. LL has spoken about being beaten with fists, extension cords, and even vacuum cleaner parts for the smallest mistakes. Growing up in that kind of violence left deep wounds, but it also gave LL a toughness that pushed him to survive and succeed. This is why the Love Benji claims cut so deep. Fans can't help but see the irony. How could a man who grew up abandoned and hurt turn around and deny a child of his own? It's a question that makes people look twice at Benji's videos and wonder if there's truth behind his tears. At the same time, LL's painful past could explain his silence too. Maybe he wants to protect his own family from the kind of chaos he endured as a child. Either way, his background makes the situation harder to dismiss. And as Benji continues to resurface, the divide between believers and skeptics only grows louder. Every time Love Benji's story makes the rounds, the internet splits in two. On one side, you have people who swear his pain is too real to fake. They point to the way his voice cracks, the emotion in his face, and the details he shares, like being blocked by LL and only getting small amounts of money, as proof that no one would go that far just for attention. For them, this is a young man fighting for recognition from a father who refuses to claim him.
I'm blessed. I'm thankful. He'll send me money every now and then, probably $200 a month, but it ain't about the money. Bless me with the charm, the ladies, charisma. I really didn't want to take it here and have the blogs blow it up or nothing like that. Since he blocked my number, I haven't heard much from him. I feel like this how I'll be able to reach out to him. That's my truth.
But on the other side, skeptics are just as vocal. They say Benji is chasing clout, using LL Cool J's name to build buzz for his music career. Some argue that his evidence doesn't hold up, especially since LL's camp quickly dismissed the whole thing as a joke or a skit. To these critics, Benji is simply playing into the trend of alleged celebrity kids trying to get famous off a last name. What makes it so polarizing is that both sides have a point. LL has a history that makes the claim believable, yet Benji's timing and sudden disappearances raise doubts. And in the court of public opinion, feelings often matter more than facts. Fans are left debating in comment sections, podcasts, and blogs, with no clear answer in sight. The longer this goes on, the more pressure builds, not just on Benji, but on LL himself. If there's truth to the story, staying silent may only make things worse. And if it's all a stunt, why does Benji keep coming back? That's the question leading everyone to the same final thought. What happens next could either expose the truth or end the drama once and for all. So where does this leave us? On one hand, you have LL Cool J, a legend with decades of respect in both music and television. On the other, you have Love Benji, a young man who insists he's been silenced and ignored by the very person he calls his father. The two stories clash in a way that makes it hard to know where the truth really lies. If Benji is telling the truth, it means LL Cool J has spent years hiding a son while building his image as a devoted husband and father. That revelation would shake his legacy and paint a very different picture of the man fans thought they knew. But if Benji is lying, then this is one of the boldest clout-chasing stunts the industry has ever seen. Either way, the controversy keeps LL's name in the headlines, whether he wants it there or not. And the biggest question still lingers: will DNA testing ever settle this once and for all? Without that proof, fans are left to argue, speculate, and take sides. Some say Benji's emotion is enough, while others won't believe anything without hard evidence. For now, the truth remains in the shadows. But one thing is clear: Love Benji's return has forced everyone to look at LL Cool J in a new light. And if this story explodes again, it could change how the world views one of hip-hop's most celebrated icons. Because sometimes, the secrets that stay hidden the longest are the ones that cause the biggest shock when they finally come out.